Thanks for downloading this episode from Teachers Talk Radio. You can find the full schedule and listen back to all our shows at ttradio.org. Enjoy the podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tuesday Twilight Show at Teachers Talk Radio. Every second Tuesday from 6 p.m. live, we talk about one crucial topic in higher education with my brilliant guests. My name is Timia, and later on these shows are available on the Teachers Talk Radio podcast channel, so you can watch the recording. Today's topic is a very important one: how businesses and academia can work together. This is especially close to my heart as I came back to academia after more than 2 decades in working in industry to bridge this gap. And today I will have two fantastic guests to talk about not only the case studies and the examples, but also the challenges and what we could do in the future to make it happen and make it easier for the students to gain real life experience while being at school, at university, at college, and then have a degree, but at the same time have some portfolio they can put on their CVs and have all the soft skills and the hard skills they need to get a job and also to get started on their job very successfully. So I will very soon invite my first guest, but before that, I just would like to talk about one of our partners we work very closely with, Hachette Learning. This show is brought to you in partnership with them. They are publishers of professional development books and resources that support great teaching and learning in schools around the world. If you want to level up your professional development today, then visit this website seen on the screen, hachetteLearning.com, to explore the full range of titles. And now I would like to invite to the stage our first guest to this show, Mohamed El Jabori. Hello. Hi, Mohamed. Very nice to meet you. And Mohamed is in academia now, being a module leader and also a lecturer in business management. But you also have an industry background, obviously, in finance and management. Could you just talk a bit about that, about your background and what made you join academia after being in the industry?
Hi, Timia. Hi, everybody. Okay, so as you know now, I'm a lecturer in business and management. My background is in finance and business consultancy. I built a career over 15 years now. Actually, I've been 20 years in finance, 15 years as a business owner. I'm a serial investor in healthcare and business consultancy. We're still running a consultancy business for where we create like business plan and feasibility study for other projects. So yeah, that's me. I built a company.
Yeah, and why did you? That's important that you had a successful life as a practitioner, right? But why did you decide to come to academia?
Well, the honest reason.
Yes. That's the honest reason. Yeah.
I built the company over 15 years, but I reached a point where the company had a really good reputation, and then I got a good offer from another business to buy my books. So it was at the same time where I also sold my shares in another business. So I felt it's time for me I have achieved so much, so it's time for me to move on and deliver and reflect on my journey and help the next generations.
Okay.
I mean, deliver practical experience to them. And that's my inspiration. That's what I
this
do.
is fantastic. So you decided to give back and actually teach students and have the same success as you had, which is fantastic. It's very similar with me. And just talking about this, because later on we will also talk about some case studies, but just let's talk a bit about why is it important. So academia traditionally was the place where students came to learn more about the academic framework, the theory, and then later on have a job and learn the job there. Why is it important? Do you find it important? And I guess yes, of course, but why is it important for them? And when you teach in business and management to actually also have that kind of experience during their studies?
Well, they kind of say that previously, traditionally, education is all about giving frameworks, explaining theories, but without actual practical application. But nowadays, with the digital technologies and what's going on around us, everybody and the change in the world, the world economy, we feel students are looking for more than just that, more than just the theory. They want to see, they want to feel how, they want to like feel it and do it themselves. And this is where the practical experience of the educator comes in.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And this is a very good point because business is a very much practitioner subject. So, and it is something where it's very easy to talk about, right? But it's much harder to do, right? And without actually experiencing it, it's almost like not knowing. Yes, it's very important. The theory part is a very important part, but then you have to actually do it, and business is really about that, about that practitioner experience. And I also agree with this. What do you see? Is it a challenge in today's world, or do you see that overall the educational sector, as you can see it, is prepared to offer that kind of practitioner experience, or are we behind? Are there any things to do, generally, as a higher education sector?
There is a lot to be done. We are so behind. like,
Why is that?
uh,
Why do you think is that?
why I think of that? Look, when I joined the academia, on the first lesson was with level 6 students.
Mhm,
And level 6 students, which is the third year, the final year for in higher education, they would have gone through the whole journey, and they will be able to reflect on that journey. And when you talk to them, they would tell you, we were expecting more practical than theory. We
mhm,
thought we are going to a place where they're gonna show us how to do it, not talk about how to do it.
mhm, mhm,
And this has got me thinking, like, what else can we do?
mhm,
How we can deliver this experience to students?
mhm, oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, there is a call.
That's
Yeah, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
how we can deliver this experience to the students. One way of doing it, which I think LCCI is doing it, is just lecture bringing somebody's from some experts from the industry, which is that's the traditional way of bridging the gap or closing the gap between academia and practice. But even with that, there's a lot more to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Students are looking for a hands-on experience,
Mhm.
are looking for more than that.
Mm.
We can, even with the examples that we give, we should give examples from real life, examples that happen, that talk to the students, same level of small businesses, same level of experiences, so they can reflect on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And this is what we have done successfully, thankfully.
Yes.
One of the
And
projects that we have done recently.
yes, and Bio will join very soon. I will invite him to the stage to talk about it. And that's, I think, is a fantastic example where it's actually embedded.
Yeah.
But this is
But
this is exactly no, go ahead.
one more point, Timia, sorry. Uh, like most of us as lecturers, we are looking for students to admire us, admire our knowledge, our expertise. But actually, what I found is we should be looking for students to admire themselves, to
Mm,
admire their knowledge and know how to implement, trust themselves when it comes to implementation and using the skills and everything.
mhm,
And
mhm.
this is a very important point.
That's a very good point. Yes, they should feel empowered to do it themselves, right? And this is what we should give them. And that's a very good point, actually. That if we only tell them the theory, we are in an age where they can actually watch those videos themselves or even ask, AI about the theory. And it's important to have someone in the classroom who understands the theory. I never believed in saying that it's 100% practice, because if it's 100% practice, then you will not understand the framework it was built on. And I always say that in academia, the academic content is also important to have evidenced and reliable content and frameworks and theory and research theory that students can rely on. Because when you watch YouTube videos, when you have some Facebook business bro who will teach you some, 3 bullet points on a on a flip chart, it's not going to be evidence and research based. So it's super important to have somebody who understands it, because theory is what you can go back on even 10 years later, 20 years later. Something that I learned 20 years ago still applies as a framework, but not the actual tactic. So I think it's really important, but these are more and more things that they can get access to, but what they cannot get access to is to actually practice in a safe space. And this I also find it's a little bit about my background before Bio joins, is that after 25 years in working as a marketer, I joined academia, Northumbria University, where I was invited to actually see how I could include some practice into the digital marketing program, the master program. Because students, as just you say very, very rightly, students demanded this. Students said that, okay, it's nice to have these slides and how it, but actually, can we just practice it? And this is what I started to do, to not just invite a guest lecturer, which is a very nice way of bringing students closer to the actual role players of the industry, but embed it into the curriculum, to the module and to the assessment. So I also would like to share some of those later on, some of those case studies, how what we did is actually inviting someone who worked together with the academic, and it was built into the lecture to use a kind of software in a sandbox environment to create those. In our case, it was an email marketing strategy and the email marketing campaign that they actually created. And it's not just a practice in a safe space where they cannot actually, even if they fail, it will not mean that they are fired or that their campaign is failed and they lose money as in a real business. But they can just experiment and they can rely on the expertise of the lecturer. But at the same time, they can also put it on their CVs that I've done this was the outcome. So it really gave them a very good opportunity for that. And you're absolutely right to say that students always highlight this in MEQs, in feedback. And you are right that you add a lot of these practical things, and they will say that we want more. So that was the absolute feedback that I've seen as well. So absolutely on board with that. And I hope that Bio joins very soon, and I can let me just check if he, yeah. But just
one thing you mentioned, which is really intrigued me. Yes, we are creating a safe place for students.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only to grow, to make mistakes. We want the student to make mistakes. We want to make it under our watch, so we can teach them how to overcome it. And this is the role of us as lecturers, not only to deliver the practical experience, the theoretical frameworks, but also allow students the space to think and make
That's a very good
mistakes,
point.
and
That's a
then
very, very good point.
reflect on it, which in turn gonna help them to grow in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you in that, and that failure is also very important, and failure is also learning in a university or higher education setting. And at the same time, it's not about you losing money or the job, which later on you can. So absolutely all on board with that.
This show is brought to you in partnership with Hachette Learning, publishers of professional development books and resources that support great teaching and learning in schools around the world. Level up your professional development today and visit hachetteLearning.com to explore the full range of titles.
Teachers, Have you heard of BETT UK 2026? It's the world's biggest education and technology event, and it's completely free for educators. From keynote speakers and panel sessions to CPD accredited workshops and networking, BETT UK 2026 is where educators from across the globe come together to share ideas, spark inspiration, and find solutions that fuel our mission to drive better education globally. Get your free ticket today at bettshow.com.
But if you'd like to add any comment, then please do it. We will read it out, we'll discuss it. We have listeners joining on YouTube and also on LinkedIn Live. And later on, these show will be recorded and you can watch it later live. So Mohammed, not live, we are listening live and you can see it recorded later. Yes. So it's time to talk about a fantastic case study then. Let's just move into that. So when you started, let's just, please tell me how, or you wanted to say something about it?
Is Bio around?
Not yet. I mean, he joined it. I will invite him very soon, but I just wanted to talk, introduce the topic a bit. More about when you think that, okay, you need to introduce industry experience into a module. Let's just talk a little bit more broadly. What could be some tools to do that? So what are the tools you can offer students to practice that profession while in the classroom? What could be, what are the tools that you've used or you've seen or you'd like to try?
Well, a couple of tools that one of them we are implementing actually in one of the modules.
Okay, so just have a little bit of a toolkit for every listener to choose from.
Yeah, it's the simulation. So what simulation is? When you get a platform where student can collaborate on a virtual project. But what this allows them to do, they allow them to create a business scenario. When they collaborate between them, they initiate communication, they make decisions, and then based on each single decision, they have different outcomes and suggested outcomes. And they will have different scenarios. They will tell them, if you do that, if you had this decision, you might have this outcome. So it is very practical. It is very useful for our students. But also,
so it's more like a sandbox environment where they can actually do it, right? I think that is.
But it will include board meetings. It will include negotiation, selling, transactions. So it is very practical. And this, we piloted it and it went really successful. And hopefully we are looking for implementation. So, so this is one of the ways that I find students really enjoy, really engage, and want to spend time on it.
Yeah, we also did that. I also use simulation, though later on we will talk about challenges. It needs some training as well, but it's a really, really good one for them to actually see that, okay, if I do this, it's not going to be a lecturer marking me, but I can see what the outcome of is, what the impact of is, what it is, right?
But it's more than this. The student feedback was really positive about it. And most of them, they would come back and they say that, now we understand. Now we understand what you are talking about when you speak about 4 to 5 forces or any other things. It is a practical thing. It's not only theory or
it's like doing it. It's like actually doing it.
Way more than that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one of the things. Then what are some others that you've done or that you've seen or that you'd like to implement?
Well, one of them is connecting with businesses, local businesses, and they create a practical experience through that. Get students to do things in the class for other people. And this is one of the examples that I have done some elsewhere. We brought businesses that they were looking for business plans. We divided students to deliver the sections of that business plan. So each group of students work on certain part of that business plan. And this
Mhm.
is only one business who was
Mhm.
willing, who was willing to like to collaborate with us. And then at the end of the day, the whole experience was enjoyable
Mhm.
because do remember, by creating business plan, you are communicating between all the groups to make
Mhm.
sure everything is in line, and then you communicate with the business owner himself.
Okay. Okay.
Was a great experience for them
Mhm.
because communication is a key, and most students they don't know that you build a business on communication. I
Yeah,
built the
it's
whole
the soft
business
skill. It's the soft skill.
on
But was it like that the business had a real life problem that they helped with, or what was the business involvement in it?
they wanted to create business plan. They were planning to grow their
Okay, so
business.
the businesses needed a business plan, which the students created.
Exactly, yeah. And like it was a whole experience on one business only.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we can create a hub for these businesses, and when they come in with this
Yeah.
project, we can assist them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something to think about it in the future.
And yeah, let me just ask a little bit also the devil's advocate here. Like, will the businesses rely on, I mean, yes, the students just study this, but how you make sure that what you give to businesses is really something reliable and something that they can use and is safe to use?
And this is where we come in
Mm-hmm.
as lecturers or as people with industry experience. We will vet every single thing that can come. We will supervise these students, and we're gonna see if they are moving in the right direction, what they are doing with the data, how are they collecting the data, is what they are doing correct or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did. But the students really enjoyed those experiences
Mm-hmm.
and really want more. They were hungry for more. They were like asking me at the end of the year, "Are we doing it again?
Mm-hmm.
We want to do it."
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it is very useful.
Yes, and I think that this is also where the academic comes in, and the
Yeah.
academic has that experience and also that knowledge, and also the theoretical knowledge, because many times businesses rely on an experience that they have only themselves. While if you have somebody who has a more overarching experience, understanding the framework, it can be much, much better, right?
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, so I think this is where it becomes safer for the business. Then it's also supported by the academic. So it's not just students doing, or no, it's not students doing it, but there's a support, an internal support on that. And there's
100%. The businesses choose academic expertise to do that for them because of their knowledge of the framework. Do remember that business
yeah,
owner, not all of them knows what we know about the theory. We have the tools,
yeah, yeah,
and we can help them. We can direct them into the right way of implementing these tools.
yeah,
And this
absolutely,
is where we come as academics. So
absolutely.
that's it.
Yes. Okay, so we had then the business plan, we had the simulation, and what else? Do you have any other tools you use?
Well, real business implementation, like what we did with the
Yeah,
life
which
project
one?
that we are doing.
Yes,
And
we will come to it. Actually, Bio wanted to join us, but use
I
uh,
think he is trying to join
the
through
Teams
Teams.
link, right? But I just messaged him about this link. But
Okay.
anyway, let's hope he will. We will still share the case study. And thank you, everybody, for joining us to talk about the industry working together with academia in higher education. This is our focus, but actually, this is also for other areas of education. And we have some case studies, and we'll very soon come to one. And Mohammed, who has a huge experience coming from the industry to academia, and talked about creating a business plan. And I've talked about business, but actually, this kind of working together can work in hospitality and in many other areas. And I have some very good case studies there as well. So it's about creating a business plan or working together with a business on an actual problem that the business has where the students can help. I think this is probably a broader way of saying it. There are business simulations, or there are simulations in a sandbox environment that they can use very well, and they can work together. I also would say that sometimes when you have, like when you talk about entrepreneurship in a module, right? And in many ways, the academic is not necessarily an entrepreneur who already had a company. In which cases, yes, you can talk about it, but you've never had a business, which is all right. But then actually having a co-teacher and an entrepreneur coming in, and not necessarily in a guest lecturer when he's just, talking about their experience, but when they co-create that module, and then the entrepreneur co-teacher comes in a couple of times and actually works very closely together with the academic, who will share more the theory side of the content, and the entrepreneur is coming in sharing how they did it. I think that it's also it's true that it's not as immersive for the students to work on it, but probably this is the first step where you can say that, okay, so he's here, where you can say that somebody else is coming in and giving students an access to more real life experience just by actually sharing it from their side, right? And I think this is the first stage of it. I mean, if we think about like working closely together on an actual project being the top of it, then just having a guest lecturer from an entrepreneurship or from that profession to actually share more of the of some examples that the academic already showed the theory for is really helpful. And I really think that in our business programs, we talk a lot about big businesses or big companies like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Tesco's, which is fine. They are also enterprises, right? But to bring it more accessible to students is really good to bring in small and middle-sized businesses and examples, really, which is closer to the student. Is the student might start one of those earlier than starting another Apple, right? So I think that this is a little bit brings in more diversity, right? If we do
Well, yeah, and not to forget one thing, the classroom itself is full of experiences.
Oh
It's
yeah,
full,
that's a
full
good
of
point.
people who have businesses, people who are working self-employed, and so on. And these people can be an example. Like I really enjoy some of the examples that we used in a classroom about a company or a problem that we are trying to solve for one of our students,
Mhm, mhm.
which bring up a practical experience again for the whole
Yeah,
class.
this is really good to ask them as a guest lecturer, the students, right?
Uh,
Yes, fantastic. Thank you for sharing so much. And speaking of small and middle-sized businesses, we have the extraordinary of business coaches, Bio with us, who I will invite to the stage very soon. But just let me just talk about one very important event in the education industry, in the edtech industry, the BETT show, which is organized between 21 and 23 January 2026. You can register for free on that link that you can see, uk.bettshow.com, and Teachers Talk Radio will be there with a stand. I will be there for one day as well. I hope you will be there, Mohammed, as well.
I will be.
This is
I'm
really, and
already on it.
our listeners, I'm always there. And as I promised, let us welcome the fantastic Bio to the stage. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I know that you're very busy, and it's really our honor that you are with us. Hello, Bio.
Good evening. Good evening, Tamia. Good
Good
evening,
evening. How are
Mohammed.
you doing?
Good
Thank you
evening,
very
Maya.
much. Pleasure to be here. Apologies for being slightly late. And
No,
you
you
gave us
came
all the right
just right.
instructions, and I still logged on to the wrong platform. But I'm
I
here.
know, but it's all right.
I did the same, trust me.
Yes.
Thanks to
Giving me,
Tina, she guided us
you know,
again.
but the
She brought us
instructions are
back.
not the instructions are not so good if
No, they were
if
very
these
good.
are
They were
not
very good.
straightforward. So I should work on it. I will owe that. So thank you so much, Bio. And obviously you know each other because you've worked on a project together. Before we describe that, just a little bit about you, Bio. So you are a systems business coach. You're helping small and middle-sized enterprises, right? And multi-award winning. Now you're hosting a show for them. So just a bit about you, but just very quickly in 2 sentences, if possible.
Yeah, very quickly. So my background is working in social housing. I did over 3 decades in that space. And to be fair, the transferable skills I have are around people, planning, and performance. And about 2015, well, exactly 7 years and 7 months ago, I set up my own coaching practice. And the idea was for me to coach individuals from the Black and minority ethnic space who were budding chief executives or senior executives in the third public sector and housing. But what I found is when I was networking, I met a number of business owners, small business owners who struggled with people planning and performance. And I felt there was an opportunity for me to share the coaching that I have, maybe a bit of mentoring to support them to grow their businesses. Because I, like many, just thought I could have a business. It's as simple as that, just have a business. But it's not as simple as that. There are many multiple-faceted areas that you need to master. But the most important thing is you need to be able to share what you know and share what you don't know. If you don't ask, you don't get. And that's the beauty of working in a small business, that you have the opportunity to learn with others, network with others, and hopefully grow. So that's how I've got into it.
Yeah,
and
thank you, Bayo. And we've known each other for long, and actually you're a fantastic networker. And that network was very useful when you had this project together with the London College of Contemporary Arts on one of the modules, working together with Mohammed and also Tariq, who couldn't be here today. So let's just talk about it, and probably Mohammed from the academic side, starting with it. Like, how did it start? When did you find out this is needed, and what were the first steps? What was it like, just to describe first the problem element when you found out that something is needed?
It's very interesting. Networking is an amazing thing. So I had worked with an individual who I'd coached in the early days of his business. He started to do some work as a visiting lecturer at LCCA. He met some lecturers who were interested in taking their academic rigor, the study of business, website development, etc., to make it real. And he approached me. They then approached me, and I said, well, why don't you do it with a real business, with a business who's looking to have a website, have some elements of marketing, have some elements of creating a marketing plan that enables their website to really showcase their businesses, and work together so that they understand the nuances and the students will really understand the practical challenges that many business owners have in trying to push something forward. And then you meet the great Mohammed, you meet the great Tariq, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But
yes. Let's just stop. Thank you so much for this, and let's see it from the other side. Mohammed, if you could talk about how you realized in that module and the assessment what you need to change to offer students more experience in the classroom.
Well, it all started when I'm module leader for the digital business and e-marketing, and Tariq is the module leader for the e-business and e-marketing. And what we realized is, yes, the module is about creating websites, but we found that most students are not interested. They go and create website, and then around 99% of them, they will say like, we are not going anywhere with this website. We are creating this website for the assignment, and that's it.
So there was not enough motivation for them to create because there was no stake at it, right?
Yeah, it's like any other assignment they write. It's they deliver the website and died there. What we have created after we met with Mr. Bayo is something practical for them, something they go to the class for. They are looking to contribute.
So they become more motivated.
100%. It builds the momentum in them. They want to go to that classroom so they can communicate with the business owner and then deliver the work, which in result gonna have something practical, something they can point to and say
something that makes sense.
This
right?
website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bayo, what was it really? So what was the website? How did it, what was the actual assignment? How did you decide on it? How did you have that?
So a bit of rigor, because obviously there are some academic criteria that are required, but really it's what I was tasked to do is find some business owners. So I identified 20 potential business owners who would be interested in having a website or their current websites developed or improved. Then there was an assessment to see whether they met LCCA's criterion, in terms of all the legalese and all the educational requirements, but more importantly, that they would be able to and are available to work with the students, because the students wouldn't be doing it in isolation. They would need to ask questions. So there was a thorough checklist that was completed by each individual. We met each other. We had presentations on site at LCCA, so that the students and the business owners understood the journey, because it was a 9-month program. We now realize that was a bit too long, but it was a 9-month program of back and forth discussions, back and forth reviews, comparing and contrasting their current websites with competitor websites, understanding the technical abilities of the students, and the students understanding the real world, shop window, vision, values, expertise, requirements that the business owner wanted. And together, over a period of time, and not always easy, peaks and troughs, they were able to build and understand and, identify, I think, some of the best examples, identified the soul of the business owner. So there was a couple of great examples where the business owner really they shone through that website. So it wasn't just a cut and paste job. It was getting the right pictures, the right copy, the right information, the right setup, and even taking it as far as creating, and this is where my technical expertise falls down, what do you do when you online sales opportunities, etc., etc. So
E-commerce.
That's the word I'm looking for. E-commerce. E-commerce, and that doesn't happen overnight, because you really got to understand the market, their market, and it also created some, I think, deep thinking for the business owners as to what they're actually about, and to identify, did they have a business plan? Did it align with a marketing plan? What was a marketing plan? What was a marketing strategy? Admittedly, they didn't have to have a budget, but they realized that once it's done, it would be the mirror to the rest of their potential market and community.
Absolutely. Fantastic. This is fantastic. And Mohammed, I guess that this was supported at the same time from the lecturer on how to do it and helping the student. How did you help the student to actually make it happen? And what did you do from the academic side?
Well, it all started by briefing the lecturer on what we are doing, basically, having a regular meeting with them and deliver the expectation from the students. And we were monitoring the feedback of the students, trying to communicate with Mr. Bayo, I think, on multiple issues at the time. In terms of communications, business owner doesn't reply, our student does not reply. We established eventually a monitoring system on them, and we were monitoring that on weekly basis or even daily basis. We have regular reports from the lecturers, but our lecturers really enjoyed the experience.
It was a real life experience, really.
It's not only the real life experience, it's the first project of its kind that been done inside LCCA, where this amount of companies, 20 companies, come together and give us almost like same type of assignment to our students, and our students to take it and start asking questions. Lecturers try to help the students. It's a win-win. Everybody's engaged. Everybody is on it. Everybody wants to deliver. Everybody wants to win, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I think that it's the fantastic feeling of achievement, right? That you can feel when you can see that you created for someone who exists, right? Who is a small business. And again, it's not Apple, and that's Tesco's who you cannot really have access to, but it's actually a small business. And I remember that event when actually those websites, I was very fortunate to be there when the websites were shown. And this was such a fantastic moment of of feeling their student success, and also the how happy their small businesses were who otherwise couldn't have had that website, right? So this is really fantastic. And really, I mean, students can practice what they actually learned and show this outcome of their work. And we talk a lot about the authentic assessment. We talk a lot about these things, and this project had everything in it: the employability, the authentic assessment. You couldn't if they used AI, it was only to improve the project, but actually they had to communicate a lot with the business owners. So this is really, really fantastic. But you both mentioned also issues and how you had to communicate about it, and how it required actually the involvement of many stakeholders. Normally it's the lecturer and the students in an assessment, while at the same time here there were the business owners who are not the obviously the employees of the company, and you have to actually still involve them. So let's talk also a bit, because our listeners should also know about it. What did you learn about, or what were the challenges actually of involving business owners, and how to manage these? And I would like to hear both of you on that, a little bit talking about the challenges of this type of assessment.
So before I lay down the immediate challenges, I think what was important is that there had to be communication, like almost a triage between the school, the LCCA, myself, and the business owners. So that, as Mohammed said, we met monthly, sometimes and quarterly, just to review and evaluate and monitor progress. If that didn't happen, we would never have seen the challenges, and we may have never reached our outcome. So what was the challenges? I think the first one is communication. There is a need for student to talk to business owner, to talk to lecturer. Not me, I set it up, you carry on. But I suppose the LCC had its own safeguarding issues, IT issues, and therefore how and where to communicate with a said business owner. And that was often a frustration for some business owners in terms of, I want to speak today, I want to speak next week, or I can't, I'm not available. So that was one of the things. I think, I'm a coach, so I'm going to use the word goal setting. It may not have been clear from the offset what the final goal was for a student and or the business owner until the presentation, then until they met, and then until they unraveled what they were capable of. So that's part of communication as well. And the third thing is, I think, as we started to improve the monitoring, Mohammed and Tariq set up systems in place to ensure that there was more effective monitoring about the ability of a student, the deliverability of a student, and on my side, the same thing, the availability, the deliverability, and engagement of the business owners. So we would meet monthly, review quarterly. Is business A turning up? Yes or no? Bayo, sort it out. Is student doing their business? Yes or no? Mohammed, Tariq, sort it out. Lecturers, sort it out. Obviously in a kind way. So those were the three main elements. And then last but not least, I think, and it's still possible, that LCA could miss a trick if they don't go back to the students and the businesses and say, 6 months down the line, where are you now?
Mm-hmm. That's very important.
Where
What is long-term impact?
Exactly.
But is it happening, Mohammed? What were they also would like to thank you, Bayo. This is a really good one. What were the challenges from the academic side, Mohammed? Was it similar to what Bayo? Would you like to add anything to it, Mohammed?
From academic side, it was clear to us. Yes, our intention is to deliver practical experience to students. We get them engaged, but as you know, you are in education. Not all students want to do it.
Yes, and this is, by the way, this when we talk about industry meeting academia, sometimes it's, and the student could have been any kind of barriers. They don't want to do, they cannot do, they are not at that stage, and it's always easier to do something that is not practical. And this can be a hurdle to have those students who are not at that level or don't want to do it, or right. Yeah. So what could you do in that case?
Well, it was part of the assignment, so they are in a way have to do it. We try to encourage those students to engage with the project. Sometimes we created groups on the same project just to deliver the experience. To deliver this project, and to be honest, we succeeded in turning a lot of students who doesn't want to be engaged into a really engaged student. And some of them, they are even lacking presentation skill, but they were there on the day delivering and presenting their websites confidently and happily.
Yeah, I really love that.
Changed a lot in them, and this is the essence. This is what we were trying to do.
Yeah, this is motivation, giving them enough motivation to do it and flip them. And I think that the amount of soft skills they learned, as Bio said, and yourself, presentation, communication, goal setting, what you do when there's an issue. And this is happening when you go, and this is not happening if you just have to do an essay, but if you go and have a business or you go to a company, you will have all of these, right? So it's really practicing that as well. So that was a fantastic one. By the way, just answering Bio's question, Mohammed. So is there an opportunity, I don't know if it's built in, to check in like 6 months, like what's happening with that website? Is the business owner carrying on, or do you plan anything like that?
It was, but it wasn't as rigorous as what we did
Okay.
after that
Yeah,
point.
it should, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a
And
fantastic.
we had to recreate a whole system
Yeah.
because do remember that Bio said it correctly. LCCA, it's Bio, and then the businesses. But
Yeah.
inside LCCA, we have us as module leaders, then we have the lecturers, then we have the group of students, which over multiple groups over there. So it was a bit of task for
Yeah,
us
so
to
it was a lot of
work.
extra effort, but it was worth it. At that event where they presented and the business owners were very happy, and beautiful websites, and students had a fantastic experience. So it was really well worth, and congratulations, heads down to all of you, and also Tariq and everyone else involved. And this is very useful that you showed it, that you shared it today with all the challenges as well, so that everybody can learn from it. Moving on little bit more in a broader sense, and I'm turning to you, Bio, because Mohammed already shared quite a few very good examples on how to work together with businesses as an academic. Do you have some ideas, or have you worked, or are you looking to work with academia? What other ways? Because this was a very good one. We saw all the pluses and probably some minuses, but do you see some ways of? Because honestly, I have to say that these two areas of business and academia seem to run parallel. This is my experience. I have network in both areas, and if also on LinkedIn and also in real life. And when I don't know, when I post about a business topic, only my business connections will interact. Academics think that, oh, it's not for me. If I post about an academic one, then it's not for my business connections. And the same in networking. If I'm at a business networking and I say that I work at a university, then they just kind of, oh, and that's it. While at the same time, these two just quite naturally they have so much to work together, right? As we've just seen. So this is something I'd like to ask both of you, but not turning to Bio as during later. So what is your opinion about it, and what do you see for the future for all the businesses that you can see and you have an insight of?
I am surprised of that demarcation because, and it does exist. I cannot deny it does exist, because they seem to me to be a natural fellows, bedfellows. It's, you're the academics are thinking of how best to make things better, and the business people are practically putting into practice what the academics are thinking. I suspect it's because, so in my experience, the fair, so a careers fair, is one of the first ports of call. But then to dig deeper, I suppose it does require more of a bullish business person to say, this, what you're writing about or what you're theorizing is interesting, but can we put it into practice? Some of the best ideas must come from academia, and then business people put it into practice. But you're right. As you were talking, I was thinking about the networking events I go to. There are not many academic people sitting around the table, other than those looking for businesses to be part of a career fair or a work placement or an internship. Yeah. And that's where I was approached. But then I said, well, what can you do for us practically? And how can we support you practically? Maybe academia needs to sit down and say to itself, so I look at the LCCA, really vibrant group of young people, students, whatever, a list of things that they would like to put to market, or a list of things that they would like to see do well, sell, or be seen by people, and then identify the businesses that could do that would be a starter. So in the fashion world, you've got a number of students who are doing very well in that space. go out to a fashion retail market and say to them, this is what we've got. Now come back, create an incubator maybe, or a series of platforms, seminars or workshops that can enable that individual to prosper or individuals to prosper.
Yeah, and to be fair, actually, incubator is happening, and also on the fashion side, a lot is happening with the industry that I think is really, really good. But thank you for sharing it. And on that, I really want to say that, yes, in many ways, it's a career fair on placement, but that is not happening. It is not about what's happening in the classroom. It's what's happening after they get the degree, and that's also important. But what we all talk about here, and we all point out here, that even during the time they study, they can work with the businesses, not just for the career later on, but as just this fantastic case study has shown, it is really doable. And it's, I mean, because in academia, students really learn, and they have a fresh knowledge. They have a fresh knowledge based on fresh research. They dedicate their time to it. Really, they sometimes, I mean, obviously the good students dedicate much more time actually than a consultant would, and they really want to prove themselves. So actually businesses could benefit from, you know, a group or someone who really wants to prove themselves, and who has fresh knowledge. And this is really, really a big win for both. But at the same time, the student can practice on something that is real, that has stakes in it, and then the academic can support it with a real safe space and with their knowledge and experience and the academic framework. Let me just show it before I'm handing it over to Mohammed. We have a fantastic comment, Dr. Wayne E. Reed. Thank you for commenting. It says, more applied study programs to develop industry links. Okay, so this is this is another thing that actually probably there's no platform where industry and the academia could just, you know, link. Probably there's a gap there. So because when it's a business event, thank you very much for this comment. It's really, really important, because when it's a business event, you will go if you have a business, but you're not even thinking of that actually I could also go, because there's no platform. And this is why we actually have this podcast, to raise the awareness. And this is what we really have as a passion, all three of us here, to bridge academia to business, right? Mohammed, I'm giving it over to you because I know that you also have this passion. And just going back to it, why do you think this division exists, and how to kind of connect the two worlds?
Well, to be honest, the way I see it is that everybody's busy. So business owners are doing their own thing, and they don't really think that the academia will add something to them. And then the academic are so busy focusing on the teaching and delivering the theoretical frameworks, thinking that, okay, businesses are outsiders and they might not understand what we are doing. So the first thing is in us as the lecturers.
It's time, yeah.
And as a business owners, we need to understand that we complement each other. We are two sides for the same coin. We have to work. We all have to hum the same from the same sheet. I believe, but having said that, I really believe that having incubators, having websites, as you suggested earlier, that could bridge this gap and show that what academic do and what business do are exactly the same, or can complement each other, is really crucial. It's
Absolutely.
really important.
Yeah, that's a really good message. And also for the businesses, and I experienced that when I approach them to invite them to a guest speaking or showcase what they do, they are very happy to do that. They are very happy to give back.
100%, definitely.
Absolutely. Or just to have provide, if they have a venue, if they have a small restaurant, then offer the venue to kind of come there, and then hospitality students can be there. So it's not just for business really, but fashion, hospitality, it could be really many others, music. So I think that this exists, but we have to really talk more about it. And this is why I'm really happy to have the two of you from both sides of the coin in a way, right? So as we coming, so thank you so much for coming on to the show and actually showcasing this example. As a kind of last question, and I would like to close with this from both of you. How do you see it as a future, in the future of higher education, the collaboration of these two? Do you see an optimistic future? And also now that AI is here, which AI is fantastic, but exactly this type of collaboration where you have to experience being resilient and being, you will not have the answer in 1 second, and being, and probably also setting some boundaries. I think this exercise was also good for that, because it might have happened that a business imagined that they will get a 1 year of, marketing strategy and all the advertising covered, while it will not happen. At the same time, some students might have said that actually, why I'm not paid for this. So all these things, these are fantastic, and this is something that you will not just get in an AI environment, or not even in a simulation, right? So I just give you some seconds to think about. So how do you see, that's the question, the collaboration of business and academia in the future? Do you see some positive or optimistic scenario, or probably you are a little bit more concerned how it would happen, how it will happen, if it will happen? I don't know, Bio. Let's start with Bio, and then
I think it will happen because the economy will demand it to happen. There is a need for, as you say, innovation. There's a need for the economy to use the entrepreneurial spirit that it has to move forward. And going back to the last point, how could it do that? I think there needs to be more teaming up of projects, so the professors and students solve actual business problems. So that means us business owners to go to academia to say, this is the problem you have. How can we work together to solve it? And for that to happen, maybe we create more shared spaces. Incubators seem to be a bit aloof. As you said, when I joined the discussion, it's the small business owners that really make the economy tick. It's they that we should be approaching as to how can we make their work more effective, more efficient. AI, for example. And I think also exchanging people between both worlds. Let more business people enter the world of academia and vice versa. But I go back to the point, allow small business owners to be working in some academia, to get to know, be part of advisory boards, be part of the governance makeup, and then vice versa. Academia to really start to attend the FSB or the Chambers of Commerce or the Institute of Directors to really understand how and what makes small business ticks, so it's less aloof. Those are some of the ideas I think that could really galvanize bringing both academia and business.
These are fantastic and very practical ideas. Thank you, Bio, as always from you. It's really, I really like it, that to actually have this exchange of people, not just on a networking level, but more governance level. That is fantastic. And actually, I will take it away and work on it together also with you. That's really, because we haven't even talked about one fantastic benefit here, the networking effect, that like at that event we had, like our students many times, they don't have access to that network. They've never met businesses, and when they finish the university, apart from some career fairs, they don't have it. But when they build that relationship with the business owner, they get access to their connections, and this is a fantastic way, right, to build those networks.
Before you go to Mohammed, it's really, and I did share at another place of higher learning. This is the fourth time this year that the Federation of Small Businesses has gone into there to do a joint networking event. It's used its networking platform and the students to be part and parcel of that. And it's just proved so wonderful that the students are coming out of their shell and asking the questions, being part and part of how can I do this myself because as you said, communication, networking, resilience, all those things need to be understood, the soft skills as well as the hard skills.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think that was, you did it with Goldsmiths, right? I saw it.
Goldsmiths is one.
Yeah,
I would love to do it with LCCA.
Yeah, let's do it.
Beautiful site. Chambers of Commerce, Institute of Directors could come there. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic, Bio. And I'm coming to Mohammed. And the original question was that, bend it however you like, is that what you see as a future, how it could improve, or probably are you pessimistic about it? What can it bring for the future?
Well, I'm not pessimistic. I'm really optimistic about it. The AI is a threat, we see it, but actually it's an opportunity for collaboration because anything comes out of the machine learning has to be validated in a way. And the validation comes, part of it is industry and the other part is academia. So this actually will bridge this gap and help cross-sectional collaboration, which is what we are seeking for to deliver this learning experience to our students and get the industry to evolve at the same time. Also, innovations, development, all these required us to bridge this gap. Bio say fantastic examples of getting academic in industry more and industry into academia more. I cannot agree more. We
Yeah.
need more of that. 100%.
That was a wonderful closing sentence, and I'd like to thank the both of you, Mohammed, a module leader lecturer in business management, London College of Contemporary Arts, and Bio being a business coach and working on a project together. But we also talked more broader on how the two could work together, and I'm a huge advocate of that. So we'll be in touch outside of this show as well. Thank you to the both of you for dedicating your time and
Thank you,
sharing.
Tia.
So I'm
Thank you,
now
Lord.
goodbye and have a wonderful evening to you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here. Thank you. Cheers.
Take care.
And thank you to all the listeners for being here. Tuesday Twilight Show. It's every second Tuesday from 6 p.m. live. And we always invite two brilliant guests and we talk about a hot topic in higher education. The show later on can be watched recorded. And I also would like to say thanks to Hachette Learning, who are one of our fantastic partners, and they are publishers of professional development books and resources that support great teaching and learning in schools around the world. If you want to level up your professional development today, then visit hachelearning.com and explore the full range of their titles. So thank you very much, everybody, for being with us, and see you in 2 weeks with me. But obviously, Teachers Talk Radio has a lot of fantastic other shows and other hosts, not just for higher education. So it covers a whole range. So please check it out. Also subscribe to our newsletter, because then you will receive a newsletter where you will receive some highlighted shows that you can then watch later on. And
you've been listening to Teachers Talk Radio. Tune in live and listen back at ttradio.org. We look forward to hearing from you next time on Teachers Talk Radio.